Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. This is the Hifiman Arya Organic, and these are my Honest Audiophile impressions. I want to thank inToit Reviews for providing the Hifiman Arya Organic for review. To greatly appreciate it. inToit Reviews, you rock. If you haven't already checked out inToit Reviews website and YouTube channel, please do that and give them a subscription if you want to, and tell them I sent you. Alright, so the Hifiman Arya Organic. This will set you back $1,300 from your bank account. It is 16 ohms of impedance, 94 decibels of sensitivity, and a frequency response range of 8 Hz to 65 kHz, and it weighs 440 grams, or 15.5 ounces. The Hifiman Arya Organic looks very similar to its sibling, the Arya Stealth, and they weigh about the same. The only real difference that you notice is that it has this woodish type of look on the cups. I am not sure if that's actual wood or if it's just a veneer or some sort of sticker that goes over the shells. But anywho, that's the only difference that you notice. They all look the same. The headband is the same, suspension strap's the same, the pads are the same, the way it moves is the same, and the comfort is the same. Alright, so the Arya Organic comes in this box. You get some branding on it, a couple of stickers that tell you it has nanometer thickness, a diaphragm, and a stealth magnet design. You get some specs on the bottom. Opening it up, and you get this box with accessories in it, and then you get a headphone stand. So the headphone stand is interesting. If you take an Arya and you pop it on there, there you go. That's what the headphone stand looks like. Alright, so the other accessory that you get is a cable. And typical Hifiman 3.5 in, quarter-inch output. Alright, so the Arya Organic, well built, comfortable, it's open back, you're not going to get any outside isolation of outside noises, and I can wear them for hours on end. Now the only thing that may be a problem for some is the largeness of the cups and how that they come down on the jawline, but overall I find them to be extremely comfortable. The Arya Organic is kind of easy to drive. 16 ohms, 94 decibels of sensitivity. Dongles that are balanced and have higher power rates will drive them to volume, but it won't really sound very good. DAPs, running them unbalanced, will sound okay. Where the Arya Organic really shines is on desktop. And I find that that was where I did all my listening, because they're open back. You're not going to take these around with you out in public. And so the devices that I used it with most and that I enjoyed it the most were the Mytek Liberty DAC 2 and the Mytek Liberty HPA amplifier, and also the Aune S9C Pro and the Aune S17 Pro amplifier. Found that those were my favorites with the Arya Organic. How do the Hifiman Arya Organic sound? So the Hifiman Arya Organic has a very organic sound signature. So the bass of the Arya Organic is full. It's well extended. It has authority. It has power. It has impact. It has slam. It has punch. It has kick. It has a lot of bass for an open back headphone, and I'm rather impressed by it. It really does drive home and engage. I was rather impressed by the abilities of the bass. Now, we're not talking bass head levels here. We're talking a very linear and natural reproduction of bass. It's very accurate and very true to the tones. Has good tone and timbre, and details and resolution are exceptional. I was rather impressed by the bass and how well it was controlled. There's just enough elevation in the sub bass and in the mid bass to keep things moving and engaging. And then there's this fullness about it. And every single note has body to it. And everything just has this fullness. And you can picture each individual instrument. And they're very isolated and very separated. There's good space. And it's just a very easy stage of percussions and bass to diagnose, and I love it. It's just well controlled, very natural in tone and timbre, and detailed and resolving. The mids. The mids have a nice warmth to them and a nice fullness to them with just the right amount of air and space and separation. Just like the bass, there's good space, separation, and isolation of instruments and vocalists, and it just sounds natural in its reproduction. Everything sounds proper when it comes to instruments and vocalists. It does a really good job of using proper note weight and giving you this kind of picture of the instrument, so to speak, of everything from strings to guitars to percussion to woodwinds, brass, pianos, organs, whatever type of instrument you want to play. It does a really good job of reproducing it and putting it in on the stage and then putting you in the middle, and you get this little concert. Everything just sounds correct. It has this fullness to it, and the tone and timbre is accurate, and the details and resolution are just phenomenal. And then the treble. The treble extends nicely. There's good air and space, sparkle and energy with just the right amount of brightness and hotness. And it just has the right amounts of sizzle and crackle and snaps and pops. And it just sounds realistic. The treble is well controlled, and it does a good job of putting you in the moment. The bass, the mids, and the treble are very cohesive, nicely balanced, and it's like you get your own personal concert. All the instruments are separated and isolated out, and they're well spaced and positioned. And the vocalist is well balanced with the instruments, and everything just sounds the way it should on a stage. I was rather impressed with how naturally organic the Arya Organic sounds. And then soundstage. The soundstage of the Hifiman Arya Organic is really, really good. I was impressed at how it does width. So if it's a small, intimate little venue, you're going to know that. If it's a little bit bigger, you're getting into the large size, the larger size, the grand size, you're going to know it. It does a really good job of putting you in the moment and going, I can imagine that this is what it sounded like when this was being recorded. Depth is really good. You can read into the stage very well. You can look beyond the rows. You can first, second row, third row, fourth row. It does a really good job of letting you read in and dissecting the stage. And then layering is really, really good. I was impressed at how well everything is separated, isolated, but yet plays together. And it does this cohesiveness to the sound and layered together and just portraying it as the track should sound. It just does a phenomenal job. I was rather impressed with the layering capabilities. And then imaging does a really good job of tracking things across the stage and placing them, and you can follow them. It's very laser point accurate. You can go, it's right there, and it's right there, and it's right there. There's two. Oh, they cross paths. Oh, they did this. Oh, they're moving together. It does a really good job of following things across the space and keeping you engaged and involved in the music. Detail retrieval of the Arya Organic is spectacular. You're not going to miss anything, and you're probably going to hear stuff that you're going to be like, wow, I never heard it quite like that. I never heard it placed quite there. Oh, wow, it did a good job of moving and following things, and then it resolves it all very well. Everything is defined and refined. Tone and timbre. I've already said it, it's organic. It's a very natural sounding headphone, especially for a planar. I was rather impressed at how realistic instruments and vocalists sound. It does a good job of reproducing them in a very natural, organic setting. Everything just sounds as it should. So, the Hifiman Arya Organic. I'm impressed. How does it compare to its younger sibling, or older sibling, excuse me, the Arya Stealth? So the Arya Stealth, built the same, feels the same, looks pretty similar. The Arya Stealth, when you put them on your head and you're listening, sound very good. But in comparison to the Organic, the Stealth has a little bit of a veil to it. Things are not as clean, and there's not as much clarity, especially in the mids and in the treble. And the bass is not quite as impactful. Note weight is not as full and as dense as it is on the Organic. And tone and timbre is not quite as natural as it is on the Organic. Soundstage wise, it does not have near the width that the Organic has, and also the depth and the layering capabilities are just a smidge behind than the Organic. Imaging is pretty much the same. Detail retrieval and resolution is pretty similar. The Organic has just a slight edge in that regard when it comes to detail retrieval. Resolution, the Organic is better. So, the Hifiman Arya Organic. Yeah, I like this headphone. I like this a lot. And it is rather impressive of how Hifiman has been able to take a very capable headphone in the Aryas and whatever variant that you like and transition it to being very natural and organic sounding as the Arya Organic. This is my favorite Hifiman Arya variant, and of all the Hifimans that I've reviewed, this is my favorite. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on the screen, subscription links and notification bells. If you haven't already, please check those off. Don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video, and check out all the links down below. There's all kinds of information on there regarding how you contact channel, follow channel, support channel, all that kind of stuff is listed down below. Speaking of supporting the channel, don't forget that you can support the channel through one-time gifts with PayPal and Venmo, or monthly subscriptions through Patreon and YouTube memberships. And I want to thank my supporters through Patreon and YouTube memberships. Thank you very much for all that you give to the channel. It's much appreciated. This channel could not continue without your support. So thank you very much for all that you provide to the channel. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please keep it in mind that all funds do go back into the channel. And lastly, don't forget to check out all the links down below. There's all kinds of other information down there, like gear recommendations, music recommendations, and all kinds of other things. And don't forget to enjoy the music, and that honesty is the best policy.